Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our webinar in February of 2025. Today, we are going to be talking a little bit about youth preparedness and some of the things that we have scheduled for 2025. My name is Courtney Arroyo, and I'm the Assistant Coordinator over Communications and Community Engagement here at the Department of Emergency Management and Security. Our theme for 2025 is Together We're Ready, and we are really going to focus on family preparedness and some of the products that we have that we've created that are geared towards families. We also have several events coming up this year that are geared towards youth and family preparedness, so we have a lot to look forward to, and we'll give you a little snapshot in a little bit. So just to give you a brief overview, Ready Fairfax is the county's preparedness program, and it's designed so that we can get out in front of the community and get residents prepared, give them tools to respond to and recover from emergencies. We have a lot of different things that you can request from us. We do a lot of presentations out in the community. We have our Introduction to Preparedness course. We have courses for businesses, houses of worship, even for youth. If you have any scout groups or schools that are doing anything preparedness related, I'll show you some of the products that we use to support what we go out and do. We also have a 5-step neighborhood guide. We have a workshop that we can come out and do, and then even help facilitate that planning process as your neighborhood is going through and making that neighborhood plan. We also have Until Help Arrives, which is a great class if you want to learn how to stop the bleed and some other basic life safety courses. We also have a lot of these products online as well. So Introduction to Preparedness, Business, House of Worship, and the 5-Step Neighborhood Guide can all be found on our website, and you can go on and take those at your own pace and get an overview if you don't have time to schedule something for us to come out. A lot of what we do is really around our community emergency response guide, and this was created originally in 2019. It was launched as a tool for residents to use, where we go over what actions you can take before, during, and after an emergency. So it really goes through how to make an emergency plan for your family, what things to consider when you are going through that planning, how to make an emergency kit, how to maintain it. And then it also goes through a lot of the hazards that could affect us here in Fairfax County. So it will go over the different key terms of what each hazard has, and then it will also give you tips on what to do before, during, and after. It also has information on how to get involved, a lot of those important contacts, how to report power outages, so just a lot of great information. This can also be found on our website, not only in English, but we have it translated into several different languages, so you can go on and download copies. We also have a miniature version that we hand out at events. So if you ever see us out in the community, feel free to stop by our table and grab one of those. As I mentioned, we do have a lot of companion guides. So here's just a little bit of snapshot. I'm going to go through some of the ones that are geared towards youth at the bottom a little bit more in depth, but we do have the business guide, and that is translated into several different languages as well. And then we have the House of Worship guide that can be found online. So a little bit of a background about some of our youth preparedness guides. So all of our guides are still based on what to do before, during, and after an emergency. We have tailored some of these products geared towards different ages for youth. So for example, this one in particular is a story, and it is a true story based off of an incident that happened in our local community. My son and I were home during a thunderstorm, and a lot of what happens in this story is actually what happened at home. We just used it for a family-based scenario. So we're going through real things that can happen. This one just happens to be a thunderstorm. So we're taking a lot of those basic things that we're teaching adults and breaking it down for youth. So within this guide, and these are just some graphics. There is a whole storyline to it, but you can see there's a family that is, they take out their emergency kit and they are using the food within their emergency kit to actually have dinner that night since they don't have any power. February is also canned food month. So we have some stuff that's going to be coming out. It's National Canned Food Month. So we have an article in our newsletter that's coming out, and you'll see some social media posts this month. That canned food is a great way to stack your emergency kit full of food. You can actually find a lot of nutritious food that's in cans, but don't forget your can opener. So we have information in the book about that. We also, on the right-hand side, have a graphic of a family playing a board game over using a flashlight. So again, using our tools for preparedness and taking those basic kit items and then gearing it towards an actual scenario. We do encourage, especially for youth, that they put stuff in their kit that's going to keep them occupied. So for this instance, we used a board game that the family is playing with a flashlight. We also have our Kids Community Emergency Response Guide. This particular guide was made in collaboration with Fairfax County Public Schools, their curriculum development team. We've worked with Fairfax County Public Schools over the past 10 years. This is the 11th year that we're going to actually be putting on the program to run the Student Tools for Emergency Planning, or what we refer to as our STEP program. And we go into the schools. We have done this with over 20,000 students in 4th grade in Fairfax County. And we've taken the FEMA program and all the components of it, and we made a book that is specific to Fairfax County, using all the information about the hazards that affect us here. So as they are learning about natural hazards within their science classes in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, at the end of 4th grade, teachers have the opportunity to sign up to do this program. This happens after standardized testing, so it's at the end of the year, and it's really just a fun activity to kind of wrap up and be able to apply the science terms and everything that they've learned and put it into practical action while putting together an emergency preparedness plan for their families. We also deliver a preparedness kit that kids do get to take home with their families. And we do see a lot of these kids out in the community, especially if we have a table at an event. They know the book as soon as they see it. They tell us that they've done the program. So it's a great way for us to connect and follow up with them to see if they've actually taken the emergency kit items that we've given them, and if they've worked with their families to make it a plan. So we walk through, as you can see with the guides here, we walk through the preparedness steps. We give them a template just like we do for the adults in the Community Emergency Response Guide, and this is all in the booklet that they take home. It also outlines just a few of the basic hazards. So we do include everyday hazards in the county, including fires, medical emergencies, and then also power outages. And then for our natural emergencies, some of them include thunderstorm, earthquakes, flooding, and everyday things that we could see here. We also include a little scenario. And again, we really love to take real life experiences. So this was actually a scenario that one of my coworkers had with his kids that we ended up using as a little activity to apply what kids are learning into real life. So a kid fell off of a bike, there's no adults around. What do you do? So we, of course, give the answers to them upside down, but it's a great way for them to critically think. If this happened to them, what resources and what actions would they take? And then we have our youth community emergency response guide, and this is really geared towards kids that are a little bit older, usually 6th grade and above. So we do use this a lot when we do scout tours, especially with scouts that are going for their preparedness or their merit badge or their preparedness badge. So they have a little bit more research to do. We're not giving them all the answers, but we're giving them the ability to find the answers. Their curriculum is very rigorous and they do have a process to follow. So this is just an extra thing to help them think through some of those activities. In here, again, we go through the planning process. You can see a little less pictures, a little bit more straightforward. We still have a template for them to use. We also go through the hazards, but a little bit more technical as they are learning science at a little bit of a higher level at that point. We do still include some activities in there just for fun. And we also have a scenario, again, that they are able to go through. And then in the back, this scenario is a little bit more complex where it goes into 3 different hazards that are presented to them and the actions that they would have to take. So if they've read the guide and they've kind of gone through the booklet, they'll be able to put together most of these answers by following that. There's also a disaster research project. Again, a lot of this information is based off of what FEMA has for youth. So this is an activity that FEMA has that they use in their youth programs, and it's picking a hazard that happens. It could happen in our area. It could be a hazard that maybe the youth who is doing it is just interested in learning about a hazard that maybe we don't have here, and it prompts them through where they can find that hazard happening and then what steps they can take before, during, and after. So some of the events that we have scheduled for 2025, we do have a Scout Day planned still in February. So that is going to be on February 16th. You can go onto our website, and right on our Ready Fairfax page, we have a calendar function. If you just scroll down a tiny bit, as some of these events are being planned, we will put the information on our website under the calendar feature. We are also planning to do a first responder interaction day in April, and this is geared towards individuals with disabilities and access and functional needs. We have partnered with the ARC of Northern Virginia and the Northern Virginia Resource Center for Deaf and Hard of Hearing, as well as all of our public safety partners, where we are going to come together actually at the Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Academy, where we're going to have the opportunity for individuals and their families to talk with first responders. We will have mock exercises where they will be able to get into a police car and pretend to get pulled over and kind of go through the process of what they may be asked if they are pulled over. We will have ambulances where individuals can climb in the back. We will simulate doing blood pressure and asking any questions that they may ask when they get to the scene of a medical emergency, just to give that real life experience. In addition to that, there will be some fire trucks. We will have the Sheriff's Department doing child IDs, as well as the 911 simulator there, so that people can practice calling 911 and what questions they may ask and go through that process. So there will be a lot of great things there that day. and it's open to the community. We will put out a registration. You don't need to register, but we ask that you register so that we have enough giveaways and can make sure that we have enough staff there so everyone has a great day. We will also be doing a preparedness expo. So every September, we partner with the city of Fairfax to do an emergency preparedness month expo. Over the past couple of years, we've held it at the Sherwood Community Center in the city of Fairfax. So we will be hosting it there again on Saturday, September 6th. We are going to make it bigger and better. I can't give all the details yet and spoil all the fun, but this will be a date that you will want to save, especially if you have some kids that really are interested in public safety and want to see. So we will have fire trucks, we will have police cars, we will have all of the fun touch a truck type things there, as well as the expo. So more information to come. We will also be having a public safety day at the McConnell Public Safety and Transportation Operations Center, also known as PSOC, and that is home to the 911 call center and our emergency operations center here. And that will be on October 4th. So we will, of course, give more information about that. But this is only the second time that we've ever opened up this building to the public. So this is a really special thing to be able to do and to come in and see. So not everyone gets the opportunity to see their county's 911 call center, but this will be an opportunity to bring youth over to see that. Just a reminder about some of our resident resources. We encourage you, especially as we're going through winter weather and coming into flooding season in March and thunderstorms in the spring, make sure you're signed up for Fairfax alerts. You can sign up for emergency alerts, weather alerts, transportation alerts, as well as government closings. So people are always interested in that. We have a lot of great resources online, for snow and thunderstorms and tornadoes. So make sure you sign up to get that information. The emergency preparedness newsletter is also sent out through Fairfax Alerts. So there's a subscription option on there for you to sign up for that. We also have Community Connect, which is a free tool that is connected right to our public safety agencies. It is address-based, so if you register for the system, if a call is dispatched to your address, the information that you put in the system about the people that live there, about pets, anything about your home, if anyone has any disabilities or access and functional needs, all of that information can go in there and it will aid first responders and give them that additional information as they're on the way to that call. We also have the emergency health profile, which you can sign up for. That is phone number based. The information that you put into the system, which is more real time for critical health information and medical information, especially if anyone has any disabilities or may have any mental health issues, that are challenging to them. This is a great way to sign up. So anyone that calls from that phone number, anything that you put in that system will come up for that 911 operator, who will then be able to give that information to the first responders that are on their way to help that individual. So again, a lot of great things that you can sign up for. So we encourage you to go on and do that. We are also on social media. So the new thing in 2024 is that we have Instagram. So we're continuing that into 2025. And, we're really excited. We put out a lot of great information on there. We put out a lot of weather information. So if you're looking for content or you're looking for tips on how to prepare for emergencies, that's a great tool to use. So next month, it will be March. We are going to be talking a little bit about flooding. Flooding happens usually in the spring, but we have Flood Awareness Week that happens in March as well. So we'll give you some tips and tricks on how to prevent flooding, also some mitigation tips, but we'll go through that and give you some more information on what is happening during Flood Awareness Week. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us, but you can always submit a request for any presentations, or if you have any questions, we have a link where you can request that right on our website. And I hope you guys have a great February, and we look forward to seeing you next month.